taking action for you this morning on TV 20 Detroit starts right now.
Welcome to Pulse Beat with Greg Dunmore, and as always, we like to bring you things that maybe you would not know about had it not been for this show. So this week, we're going to take you to a special premiere screening of the HBO documentary Donyale Luna, Supermodel.
My complete name is Peggy Anna Donyale Zazia Luna Freeman.
What sort of racial mixture do all those names come from?
It's like a melting pot of, say, different nationalities, different people, everything.
And now we're going to introduce you to a new designer who is hot and happening, so stay tuned.
What's happening in entertainment with Greg Dunmore of PulseBeat.tv.
So my name is SEYDEHWON Nagby, the one who exceeded all expectations. SEYDEHWON, that's what my name means. I took my artwork and I put it onto clothes and I put it onto the biggest runway you could have from where I'm from. That's amazing, you know, there's no bigger stage than that. I feel like I'm just living my dreams right now, you know, I'm still taking everything in. It's a huge point in my career. That was my first fashion show, so seeing my artwork, you know, and seeing them walk across that stage, it was a dream come true, you know. Me just being 20 years old, coming where I come from. I'm originally from Ghana. My mom was born in Ghana, and my dad was born in Liberia. I have a house in Ghana. I still haven't been back home. It's different. Being not from here, you know, you get treated different. They think you like an outsider. They don't take you in at first, but it's a blessing, you know, to be from a different soil, you know, to be from a different background. After I did a great runway show at New York Fashion Week, I had some good conversations with some people from Saks and Neiman Marcus and stuff like that. People really was interested in the bucket hat and the tote, and yeah, it just was an amazing turnout, you know. It was just great.
Now, there was a time when European designers of note were the muses for up-and-coming designers, but you are of a generation where the great Basquiat would be an influence.
I don't know, black people are never really portrayed realistically, and not even portrayed in modern art enough.
Basquiat would show the faces and name the names of countless millions of people that had been disregarded by art history. He would shake the art world with paintings that depict the black experience. Paintings that would be placed in museums that were designed for a whole different audience. 1982 was Basquiat's year. He was a rising star at the height of his powers, and this would be his most mythical and sought-after painting. A painting that after its initial sale was not seen in public for over 30 years. In fact, only a tiny photo of it survived, as proof it ever existed. Then in 2017, it came up for auction.
And I'm seeing this Basquiat sort of influence in your work. Was he indeed an influence for you?
Basquiat, #1 influence for me. #1 artist in my, you know, in my head right now. Biggest inspiration. He did a lot for people like me and just, you know, just our community. First established black artists in the world, you know, first black artist to really, you know, people see the value in his work and not just see the value in his skin tone. It's just amazing. He really wanted to change the way black people being portrayed, and me figuring that out, I knew what I wanted to do as well. I just want to change that view on us, you know. I feel like it's terrible, you know, we're in 2023, man. It just got to change. We got to come together.
I met SEYDEHWON at one of his first gallery shows. It was a group gallery exhibition, and I saw him, and he immediately grabbed my attention. So I stopped him, and I asked him if he was an artist, and he told me yes. And I was like, show me your work. And he showed me his work, and I purchased it. And he invited me to his studio. I went and I looked, and he had shown me what he was working on, and we stayed in contact. And we just decided, hey, you know, why don't I be your manager? Because he's young, he's 20 years old, and he's figured it out, and I know that there is a lot to figure out. I have a lot of experience as an executive assistant, assisting very successful men in business, and so I wanted to use my knowledge to help someone who I saw had a great amount of talent. So that's how our relationship began. Yes, there's a distinctive signature statement, and it's the head. So you'll see an outline with the different colors in the face. That's SEYDEHWON's signature statement, and that just a way for people to allow to look at black people without all of the stereotypes that come with it, to open up your perspective of black people. So SEYDEHWON really wants to push out that narrative. You've seen the head in his clothing, you've seen it in some of the sculpture work and in his painting, so that's a consistent theme for him. One thing that SEYDEHWON would like to have is to really expand his clothing brand. Right now, things are custom made to order, very limited edition. He would like to roll that out into a much larger platform so that people in Detroit, in New York, in Miami, or Chicago can get some of this limited SEYDEHWON merchandise. So that's a big dream for him. Art is his passion, but clothing sometimes can be his canvas. He doesn't just limit it to a blank canvas, but he puts it on clothes, he puts it on bags, and everything is unique. You know, it's not something that is made in a factory. SEYDEHWON's clothes are like hand painted. Nothing is the same, and so I think that's what's really unique and special about his clothing brand.
Fashion Week is the pillar and the platform for fashion here in America specifically. So American designers really get their edge and they get their notoriety from being able to do Fashion Week New York. And from there, it's about brand building. It's about being able to now convey your message, your thoughts, your design, your power into sales. Because we all know that, you know, for those in the industry understand, Fashion Week is about how do I get my product to the market, to the masses, hopefully. And so with SEYDEHWON, it was an absolutely great opportunity as an artist and a designer. So you're mixing fashion and art in one platform. So being able to be on that stage in New York, to be in the mix with other great designers, you know, everyone from, it could be a Calvin Klein show, it could be a Vera Wang show, but you're in the mix of what's happening in fashion today, and that's hugely important. You see the beautiful Christmas of his fabrics. You see that art is a huge, huge component of what he does. He has infused his sensibilities into each piece, whether it's a hoodie, which is more your urban lifestyle wear, or if it's a comfortable dress you can wear on the beach, but these are pieces of art. You know, it's not just clothing. He's taken a piece of his soul and a piece of his integrity and placed it in the fabric, and that is art.
You know what, I want to applaud you because you're spotlighting some of the most dynamic young talent, not just locally, not nationally, but really happening any place on this planet, because you guys are located in the heart, literally in the heart and soul of downtown Detroit. What is it about Detroit energy that is producing such world-class talent in design, fashion, and art?
Well, I think the main thing is respect, the absolute honoring of collaboration in a correct way. And Detroiters, everyone says there's grit, but there's a humble rumble. Came across SEYDEHWON. He was actually at an opening of one of my son's buildings. He does multi-family housing, and they do show a lot of art. And so he was, again, SEYDEHWON was leaning kind of against the wall, just observing and kind of being quiet in his, you know, artful kind of looking around, things like that. That's how I met him. And then Chuck came to me and eventually had said that about SEYDEHWON, etc.
Nice to meet you again.
Can you tell us something that is upcoming in your career that our audience can say that they heard it first on this show?
I got some skateboards coming for y'all. I can say that. I got some dope stuff too, you know, but I can tell you that one.
Wow, so you heard that first, that you're gonna see some skateboards, and when they are skating on your board, they'll never fall off.
Oh no, never, you know. They might not even want to skate on this one.
What's happening in entertainment with Greg Dunmore of PulseBeat.tv.
If you like what we're doing, please tell a friend, or if you want to see what we've done again, go to PulseBeatGlobal.com. That's PulseBeatGlobal.com. You can also go to our PulseBeat TV YouTube channel and you can revisit what we're doing. And once again, you can tell everybody that we're doing something that is so exciting that they wouldn't want to miss it. Remember PulseBeatGlobal.com or the YouTube channel PulseBeat TV. Thanks for telling the world about us. You know how we like to do it. We like to take you to places that you're only going to see on PulseBeat with Greg Dunmore. We're standing in downtown Pontiac in front of the Strand Theater, where we're going to take you to an exclusive showing of the HBO documentary Donyale Luna, Supermodel.
My complete name is Peggy Anna Donyale Zazia Luna Freeman.
What sort of racial mixture do all those names come from?
It's like a melting pot of, say, different nationalities, different people, everything.
Donyale Luna, Supermodel, the first black woman on Vogue magazine. From what city? Detroit.
Donyale Luna was like something ethereal. If she walked into this room, the whole place would just float.
The links come in this. I already put the spotlight on this amazing untold story of Donyale Luna.
So we got involved as a chapter because the filmmaker's sister is a member of our organization. And she came to me and said, my sister is releasing another film, and it was her sister's maybe third or fourth film that she'd done. And so she asked if there was something that the Links could do to sponsor a premiere. And this is what we do. You know, we're about women, empowering women. Empowered women empower women. And so this is what we do. And so I could not pass up the opportunity to take advantage of it to bring this movie to light. Not only the movie, but the filmmaker herself.
Who has ever heard of Donyale Luna? No. So, yeah, only a few people, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm glad that, that's the reason why we need to tell this story, because she is a pioneer, right? She was the first of her kind, and she deserves to be celebrated. So, the first thing you think when you see her, she's striking. She's beautiful. How could we not know her? How is her, someone who seems so unforgettable, lost to history? So that was the first thing. I couldn't believe that I didn't know this was the first black woman on any Vogue cover, because I always thought of myself as someone who's into fashion, really into models, all of that. And I just wanted to lean in and know more about her. And so hopefully for others who are like me, who didn't know her, the information out there is very surface. Hopefully this allows them to finally be introduced to Donyale Luna.
The Caucasian beauty was the standard, the only beauty that back in the 60s, no one was on the cover of Vogue, black.
When I saw her, I was just stunned. She was almost 6 feet tall at her age, at 14. I really just wanted to photograph her.
She had presence, tall, thin, an extraordinary apparition.
She was so striking, she would literally stop traffic on Fifth Avenue.
Supermodel, actress.
È strano che il marito di mia madre mi guardi così.
Salvador Dali deemed her the reincarnation of Nefertiti. Famed designer Adele Rustine created a mannequin in her likeness. She was the first black woman to grace the cover of British Vogue.
I got inspired, in a very early age. I remember Donyale Luna. She had gone to Germany and Europe, and she was in Stern, and I thought, this is a wonderful girl.
Yet today, she's largely forgotten. Why?
As she started to model and got more and more assignments, she became much more outrageous.
Our sort of success is a first-class ticket to a lot of other things.
In America, there was such a divide. It was horrible to be considered not good people in my skin and blood.
Who is this groundbreaking trailblazer? Time magazine declared 1966 her year. Who is this Detroit native that dominated the fashion industry? Who is Donyale Luna?
I am the sister of the fabulous, famous, icon, supermodel, movie star, Miss Donyale Luna.
I'm really fascinated to talk to you as well because there's something in the DNA that came through your mother and father that created this kind of thing, and you have it as well. Donyale Luna, that you know as Sister of the World, as supermodel for those of us who now know. I've known about her all my life. But what would you say as her sister, what was the point that you first noticed that this young lady was going to do something remarkable?
She always was the star of the family. She was treated like a little princess. She was my mother's favorite. So she got the best of everything. She got the prettiest clothes, the prettiest bike. She was treated that way, and she you know, when you're treated a certain way, it has an effect. And that effect was, she was beautiful, and she deserved the best. She deserved attention. It was there. But okay, as she grew older, it was crushed. That feeling of being beautiful, the feeling of being special, or whatever it was that was good feeling, got crushed, got burned very bad. From the bullying, from the community, you know, the boys and girls in school, they would call her, "Oh, you're skinny stick. Oh, you look like olive oil." That totally disintegrated any feelings of being special or even beautiful.
Did she get, because your whole family is attractive, when I saw the footage of your mother, your father, your family, a beautiful family, did she get confirmation, did you get confirmation from your mother and father that you were beautiful people when you were very young?
My sister mostly, but I guess, you know, as I said, my sister was my mother's favorite. I was my father's favorite. So whatever it was love there. So I had love coming from and going to my father, and Donyale had love, you know, from Mama. Mama was the head of the house. She was outspoken. She was forward. She was very intelligent. Also, my father, he served in the Army and received a military honorable discharge.
When Donyale sort of became this, I call it the Eartha Kitt syndrome, with the accent and this and all of this going on, when you first noticed that, and you knew her in a way that very few people would have known it, did you say, keep it real, or did you just accept this thing that she became, this persona she became?
My complete name is Peggy Anna Donyale Zazia Luna Freeman. It's like a melting pot of, say, different nationalities, different people, everything.
What's happening in entertainment with Greg Dunmore of PulseBeat.tv.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
What's happening in entertainment with Greg Dunmore of PulseBeat.tv.
If you like what we're doing, please tell a friend, or if you want to see what we've done again, go to PulseBeatGlobal.com. That's PulseBeat global.com. You can also go to our PulseBeat TV YouTube channel and you can revisit what we're doing. And once again, you can tell everybody that we're doing something that is so exciting that they wouldn't want to miss it. Remember PulseBeatGlobal.com or the YouTube channel PulseBeat TV. Thanks for telling the world about it.
What's happening in entertainment with Greg Dunmore of PulseBeat.tv.
DONYALE sort of became this, I call it the Eartha Kitt syndrome, with the accent and this and all of this going on. When you first noticed that, and you knew her in a way that very few people would have known it, did you say, keep it real, or did you just accept this thing that she became, this persona she became?
My complete name is Peggy Anna Danielle Zazia Luna Freeman. It's like a melting pot of, say, different nationalities, different people, everything.
Well, I guess I was torn between two worlds because I thought it was cute. And when I saw and recognized this Donyale Luna that I saw her create, she just created it. I was there when she was writing out and thinking of a name. Oh, it was several times she wrote, but it was always Donyale in it. And I knew then, I said, she's going to be something. She's going to be a superstar, what she wants. She wanted to be a movie star. But instead, she did do some movies, but instead she was a supermodel star, so.
So now when she became this big deal in Europe, and I know you would see her on the cover of magazines, and you knew that she had this New York success. Did you have a sense of the importance that now we know in retrospect as it was happening, or you didn't really know the extent of the spotlight that was on her because it was in such a different world from what would have been typical to Detroit success?
She had success here in Detroit, but she had it through the theater. And they had several presentations. One especially, I think it was a Showboat. Mm-hmm. And it was so good that it was posted in the Detroit News, an article about the play and a picture of her. She's beautiful. She was Donyale Luna then, the beautiful Donyale Luna.
And the fact that, and you said it so brilliantly, but if you could just recap it, you came from an era of Black pride, Black power, and that whole 60s era, which was very much a part of your journey. And I know you have pride in being a Black woman and your father, as you talked about it. So can you just tell us the feelings of her, maybe, I don't know if she was passing, but your feelings of her not embracing something that obviously you communicated was a very important part of your identity?
She didn't want to be Black. She was bullied so much and called skinny so much, and she became hurt from that. That was like a festering sore. So she wanted to run away and get away from that. That's how she created Donyale Luna. When I did see Imitation of Life, and even before, I could recognize a situation with her identical to the movie. She did not want to be Black. She wanted to be accepted as white.
I'm white. White. White!
And mingle in the white world, because the white world was the, what should I call it? Garden of Eden. This was a beautiful place to be. That's where she wanted to be.
My last question, what do you want the world to know about your sister? This movie is coming out, and I'm hoping there will be a lot of buzz about her historical importance, but what do you want as such a bright woman? I'm so impressed by you as such a bright woman. What do you want to be the biggest takeaway, especially for young people, regarding the life of your iconic sister?
I want them to see her struggle. She never gave up. She was fighting. Even though she didn't want to associate with the black people, she was black and she was doing something for the black people by doing what she did. She forced herself into a world of white at a time where prejudice was still so very high. It was incredible. I want the world to know her struggle. I want the world to realize her pain from that struggle of being of such fame and glory in Europe and then come back home and she's denied. She couldn't get a job. She couldn't model. They didn't want her because she was black.
I think some people thought that she was from another planet. She did not look like any human being I had ever seen or met.
They always said to her, "Where are you from?" And she'd always say, "My name is Luna. I'm from the moon."
When I saw her, I just realized what great potential she had as a model. I said, if you're ever in New York, give me a call.
He knew something that I didn't know. To go to New York was like Alice in Wonderland.
People would literally stop, her face red from blocks away.
She was in London, she was in Paris, she was in Italy.
She hung around with Mia Farrow, she hung around with the Rolling Stones. She broke the mold of using black models in the 60s.
Richard Avedon was one of the greatest fashion photographers of all time.
He was willing to sign her up for a contract.
Too extreme for Vogue, are you kidding me? Rejected.
I know I'm the best model, so why aren't I being photographed?
Donyale Luna's being was discounted because she was a black woman and she wasn't even regarded as a full person by most.
As a human, what she would have experienced in being on the receiving end of that backlash is horrific.
Where is the place where finally I'm seen for who I am? And I am loved for who I am.
Donyale Luna, supermodel, the first black woman on Vogue magazine. From what city? Detroit. She was an international sensation, and now hopefully she'll be a household name because you've watched this show. Thank you so much for watching, and we're going to continue to bring you things that you're only going to see on PulseBeat with Greg Dunmore until the next go around. Thanks for watching.
What's happening in entertainment with Greg Dunmore of PulseBeat.tv.